What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into the TNA Hard To Kill predictions. It's been a minute since I've done a video on Impact, well, now known as TNA. I've done one when they rebranded, but that was months ago. Now, TNA has basically taken a hiatus for whatever reason. I have no idea why. They've always done that for the longest, especially when they were Impact. But I think now that they've rebranded back to TNA, they have got to stop doing that. They need to start just making as much content as they can. And there really shouldn't even be a hiatus that lasts for 2 months. I can see them going, maybe for like a week or 2 weeks, but nothing beyond that. But we might as well just say, 2 whole months with like no content, that's not good. All it really was just like the best of 2023. They did Turning Point, which I didn't review because the card was just so weak, and I just didn't really give a damn about it at all, for being honest. And that's all they did. They didn't really do anything. Now they have put a lot of hype behind Hard to Kill. They've announced basically all the matches and everything. And it looks like they're trying to completely turn around and do a total 180 because they know they have to. I think they really have a vision for themselves now. And I do think that with the new belts that came out, most of them look pretty cool. The Knockouts Championship looks awesome. So that's cool there. But TNA only has one chance to get this right, and they can't mess up Hard to Kill. And I'm hoping that Hard to Kill is full of surprises. Now, I know they were teasing this big signing. It's going to be the biggest signing in TNA history. We'll talk about that towards the end. I have people who I'll list my people who I think it could be. And then again, it may not even be an individual. It just may be like a whole host of people. So, we'll talk about it. So, we've got basically 10 matches on the card, which is, I'm like, what the hell? But really, you break it down, it's just 2 matches on the countdown show to Hard to Kill and 8 matches on the main card. So let's go over like the pre-show matches. Rich Swann versus Steve Maclin. I don't really care about either guy. I like Maclin as a heel. He's solid. Rich Swann, he needs to go. Hopefully Maclin wins. And again, TNA cannot push guys like cannot push guys like Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, those guys, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian. You can't push those guys anymore. Those guys have to take a back seat. Those guys either need to be like backstage producers or what have you, but you cannot put those guys going forward in the product. This product needs to have a mixture of pro wrestling and sports entertainment perfectly blended together. All right? You don't need to have too much pro wrestling, and you don't need to have too much sports entertainment. It needs to be a happy medium within that spectrum. And you need to blend it together as best as you possibly can. But they cannot go forward and push the guys that they've been doing for the last couple of years as Impact. I'm serious. For real. Like, we need to really see a whole bunch of different new guys on the up and up. So there's that. The next pre-show match, let's see. I believe it's Dirty Dango versus PCO. My pick, Dirty Dango. Hopefully he wins. And again, PCO re-signed just like Brian Myers and the rest of them. A lot of those guys re-signed, but those guys need to take a back seat. PCO is in his mid-50s. No, you can't push him. Eddie Edwards, he's boring. Don't push him. Seriously. Like a lot of these guys, you can't push these guys. That old guard of Impact, that has to go. Like the Mike Baileys, all them, the Frankie Kazarians, all those guys have to go. Not being mean, I'm just being honest. I feel that they need a whole new crop of talent in all their divisions. So, onto the main card. Let's start off with the triple threat for the TNA X Division Championship. Chris Sabin versus El Hilo del Vikingo and Kushida. Who wins? My guess is they'll probably end up going with Kushida, probably just to have a new guard. But I wouldn't be shocked if they have Chris Sabin retain. So they'll probably do Chris Sabin retaining, and then there might be like an option C involved where he cashes in on Alex Shelley if he were to win. So there's that. But my pick, I'm gonna go with Chris Sabin, and it's good to see that Kushida has signed with TNA. That was good. Next, Tommy Dreamer versus Crazy Steve, no DQ for the the TNA Digital Media Championship. I don't care who wins this shit. Tommy Dreamer wrestling in 2024. No, let's stop. Can he not just be like a backstage producer, please? Like, enough of pushing these guys. Seriously. Crazy Steve is fine because he has a character now and whatnot and everything else, but, Tommy Dreamer, nah. This isn't the 90s. This isn't the early 2000s or anything like that. No. No. Nope. He's fat. So I think Crazy Steve is going to win. Next, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. Again, I don't care about this match at all. This is just a waste of time. Really, this is just nothing but a bunch of veterans just going out there doing shit. Who cares who really wins? My guess is probably going to be Frankie Kazarian and Eric Young. And again, I've mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. These guys are the guys that need to be your producers. Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, PCO, Rich Swann. Those guys need to take a back seat. They can't be in the new era. They don't need to have pushes. They can either be like jobbers or they can, produce or what have you, but they do not need to be on television. Enough of pushing these guys. Enough. They offer nothing to the product. We need a whole new, different product. I'm serious. This is a fact. There is something that you can do with these guys, and that is to just be producers. Shit. Moving on. Fatal 4-Way tag team match for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. ABC, which is Ace Austin and Chris Bay, versus the Rascals, which is Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel, versus Speedball Mountain, which is Mike Bailey and Trent Seven, versus my boys, the Grizzled Young Vets, Zach Gibson and James Drake. Oh, hell yeah. My pick to win, Grizzled Young Vets. Only if they sign to, only if they're signed to TNA. They have got to lock these guys down. And that is one thing that TNA needs to do. If you bring in talent, you need to lock them down into 2 or 3 year deals. It's a fact. You can't just go on these handshake deals and stuff and everything else. No. No more 6-month deals and all that. No. You need to lock down talent to at least 2 to 3 years. At least that. The bare minimum. The maximum 5 years. But the bare minimum should be 2 to 3 years. You're locked into our company. You can work elsewhere if you want to, but you're locked in. And I'm hoping that the Grizzled Young Vets, I'm hoping that they are locked into TNA. I don't see them going to AEW or anything like that, making splashes there in that tag division. I just don't see it. I think TNA would be a perfect fit for them to reinvent themselves and everything else. I think that would be great and tremendous. Next, Knockouts Ultimate X match. It's the number 1 contender to the TNA Knockouts World Championship. So, Zaya Brookside, who worked in NXT UK a while back, Jody Threat, Tasha Steelz, Alicia Edwards, Danny Luna, and Giselle Shaw. My 2 picks, pick 1, Danny Luna, and pick 2, Tasha Steelz. So, I'm fine with that. So, if either of those 2 ladies win, I'm fine with it. Next, Trinity versus Jordynne Grace for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Trinity, per reports, is basically on her way out of the promotion. So she'll probably work the tapings. Like, she'll work the tapings of Snake Eyes. And she'll probably end up dropping the belt to Jordynne Grace. There could be a major announcement that it might be like a crossover with WWE. So, but if that is correct, it just needs to be with NXT talent. No main roster talent at all. No guys from Raw or SmackDown. No females from Raw or SmackDown. Just the NXT roster. That's just what makes the most sense to me. I do think that there probably is going to be a TNA and WWE partnership for sure. Definitely. And that could be the major selling point of Hard to Kill. It may not be an individual person, but it could be like a massive partnership. Who knows? Next, but my pick to win is Jordynne Grace, which is fine. I'm hoping that we see like Mandy Rose or Mandy Sachs and Macy, I forgot her last name, but Lacey Evans, hopefully she appears as well. I think that would be great. So I do think we'll see some appearances. There'll be a bunch of surprises. Next, Josh Alexander versus Alex Hammerstone. Oh my God. This is going to be the match of the fucking night. Hammerstone has to win. Hammerstone needs to be signed to TNA. Again, these are guys that they're going to have to go out there and get and sign to 2 and 3 year deals. Alex Hammerstone should be world champion. No questions asked. Alex Hammerstone is that fucking dude. At least keep him in TNA for at least a good 2 years, and then he can go to work for WWE. If he goes to AEW, he would flop. Because it's just too many guys on that roster, and Tony Khan does not know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't. So, no. And the main event, Alex Shelley versus Moose for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. My pick to win is probably going to be Moose. more than likely because they're going into a whole new era and everything else. So it would be Moose to win. You could still do the feud between Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley if you want to, but it should be for the exhibition title. I think Moose should just be the new main event guy. You have him in a feud with Hammerstone. I think that would be tremendous. Moose versus Hammerstone, sign me up. Have Hammerstone defeat Moose, and Hammerstone is your new guy, and he's the new guy that is basically the flag bearer of TNA, like the Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, or, you know, he's one of the top guys that the company is built around. And I think Hammerstone would be a great guy to build TNA around, and it would make TNA a very serious promotion to be, you know, taken serious. I think that would be great, and that's what they should do. Now let's talk about who could the big signing be. I don't think it's probably going to be one individual. I think it might be a plethora of people. My picks, it could be Mustafa Ali showing up, Dolph Ziggler showing up, a.k.a. Nick Nemeth, or Nick Nemeth showing up. Because people think that he's going to, like, he's signed to New Japan. No, dummies. He's just working dates there. So he's not signed to New Japan permanently. He's probably just going to work a few dates there and everything else, and then that's it. But I could easily see Dolph Ziggler in the mix. Another one that comes to mind is Matt Riddle. But Matt Riddle is going to be working for another promotion the same night. So that might, you know, happen. I know he's teased some stuff with AEW, but why would he go to AEW when they already have enough talent that they don't even know what to even, you know, do with? Female-wise, it could be, like I said, Lacey Evans or Mandy Rose, but you can just bring them both in anytime you want to. And I do think that both of them would be tremendous in TNA. I really do. They both do OnlyFans and whatnot. Lacey Evans also has like several businesses like coffee shops and whatnot. So I think TNA would be the best promotion for her to be used in too. So I think that would be a good fit for the Knockouts. I know Elijah, a.k.a. Elias, is going to show up because he had a really cool vignette that was produced, and it was very TNA-like, so he'll probably show up as well. I think that's probably going to really be it. Well, actually, no. I think the major signing might be, and I hope it is correct, it could be Patrick Clark, a.k.a. the Velveteen Dream. If you guys have not watched his apology video or seen it, go out and watch it. It's worth it. The guy seems very, very sincere. He's changed, and I do think that he wants to go back to WWE, but I think that TNA would be the perfect bridge to get him back in the good graces of WWE. I really do. I think him going to TNA, sign 2 to 3 years to the promotion, and then come back to WWE would be great. I don't think that social media would be his downfall. I just don't. And I get that TNA is more of a progressive-based company, but still, I think that TNA would just rejuvenate Velveteen Dream's career and everything else, and love for the business. So I do think that him going to TNA would be great, and so hopefully he's the guy that they sign. But I do think that Hard to Kill is going to be a very, very good event. And again, I hope that who they bring in, whoever it's going to be, whether it's just one guy or a plethora of guys and girls, they need to be game changers so TNA can be taken as a serious promotion. Seriously. They need to be taken as a serious third promotion that guys and girls can go to if they can't make it to WWE or AEW. If you can't make it into the top 2 promotions, you can damn sure make it in the top third promotion. And that's just how I feel about it. And I would love nothing more than to have a viable, real serious third option for men and women in the wrestling world to go work for. Or, I also forgot to mention, with the signing, it could be Okada. I know Okada's working the tapings, so it could be Okada too. Okada could be the major signing as well. So that's the one to look out for too. It may not happen, I doubt it, but I think that would be great. You know, Okada, he could still work in New Japan and all that jazz and everything else. He just had a new child, and him working New Japan and TNA would be great. So he could still do his work with AEW as well too when they do Forbidden Door. So he's fine in that regard. So he could also be the big signing as well. But I am interested in Hard to Kill. I can't wait. I'm very, very excited. And I hope that TNA really does decide to go all out and become a serious promotion. And I hope that they do right by this, because they only get one chance to make a first impression. And if they fail with this, they won't be able to come back from it. But Hard to Kill should be good. And I'm very, very excited for it. So, what do you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.